At the end of the topic, you will be able to learn the causes for the rise in illiteracy and child labor in India, appreciate the measures undertaken to eradicate illiteracy and child labor. Social problems. Social problems are problems that impact one or more people in a community and tend to make them angry. The contemporary social threats in India are illiteracy, child labor, injustice to women. These are the social problems that require serious and swift action in the society. Illiteracy. Literacy is gaining the skills of reading, writing, and arithmetic and the capacity to relate them to one's daily life. Illiteracy makes a person ignorant and holds back the development of the country and is a social problem in India. Due to illiteracy, people face socio-economic and political problems. An illiterate person is ignorant of government welfare schemes, as a consequence does not benefit from them. Illiteracy is the root cause of the following problems: child labor, female infanticide, growth of population. Illiteracy is a serious social issue that affects the development of a nation. Indian government initiated a lot of educational policies to eradicate illiteracy in India. The different policies are: right to education is one of the fundamental rights assured by the Constitution of India. The University Education Commission in 1948 laid emphasis on one's mother tongue as a medium of learning. Educational policy of 1968 brought out the uniform pattern of education, 10 plus 2 plus 3 years of education throughout the country. National Education Policy of 1986 introduced compulsory primary education. Non-formal education policy was implemented to reduce the rate of dropouts. National Education Policy of 1992 introduced blackboard operation to provide basic facilities in school. Minimum level of learning was introduced by Professor Dave's Educational Commission in order to enhance primary education. National Literacy Mission enhanced adult education. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyam 2002 was implemented with the goal of universalization of elementary education. Measures taken up by the Tamil Nadu government to eradicate illiteracy. Along with the central government policies, Tamil Nadu government has formulated various measures to eradicate illiteracy according to the state needs. The various measures are: enrollment of all children of school-going age in schools. All children must be educated to elementary level under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan by 2010. Minimizing general and social gap by 2007. Initiating new schools if population is more than 300 in an area. A novel plan introduced by Tamil Nadu government called Education for All offers education to all children. According to 2011 census, literacy rate of Tamil Nadu was 73.5% with male literacy rate at 82.4% and female literacy rate at 64.4%. September 8th is celebrated as World Literacy Day. The year 1990 was declared as International Literacy Year by the UNO. Child labor. Child labor means that children below the age of 14 being forced to work like adults and take part in an economic activity. There were 11.29 million child laborers in India, that is 1.34% of the total population, according to an estimate taken in 1991. India has the largest number of child laborers in the world. Causes for child labor in India. Developing nations like India have to face this problem of child labor in a large scale. In India, child labor is widespread for different reasons such as lack of proper food, inadequate clothing, improper shelters, and lack of education. Children take up small jobs in factories, shops, and hotels due to poverty, malnutrition, and illiteracy. The Employment of Children Act of 1949 increased the minimum age for employment to 14 years and later it was increased to 17 years. The Plantation Labour Act of 1951 restricts the employment of children under the age of 12 in plantations. The Child Labour Act of 1986 bans the employment of children below 14 years in factories and mines. National Child Labour Policy was introduced in 1987 to eradicate child labour. Special schools with vocational training were set up. In 1976, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, former Prime Minister of India, abolished bonded labour. In this topic, you have learnt literacy is defined as acquiring the skills of reading, writing, and arithmetic and the ability to apply them to one's daily life. Illiteracy creates ignorance and hinders the development of the nation and is considered as a social problem in India. According to 2011 census, literacy rate of Tamil Nadu is 73.5%. India has the largest number of child laborers in the world. Along with the central government policies, Tamil Nadu government has formulated various measures to eradicate literacy and child labor according to the state needs. At the end of the topic, you will be able to understand the injustice against women in the society, analyze the causes for poverty and the measures taken to eradicate it. Injustice against women. Women constitute 50% of the population in India, yet women are not treated equally. This discrimination leads to various social problems in our nation. Social evils against women. Social evils against women are male chauvinism, practice of sati, widowhood, female infanticide, dowry system, and denial of rights. Measures to improve the status of women. Practice of sati was abolished by an act in 1829. Widow Remarriage Act was passed in the year 1856. Child marriage was banned by Sarada Act in 1929. This act was initiated by Dr. Muthulakshmi. Hindu Succession Act of 1956 provided equal property rights to girl children. Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961 states that dowry is a punishable offence. The Equal Remuneration Act of 1976 emphasizes equal wages for women. A government initiative called STEP, meaning Support of Training and Employment Scheme, ensured proper earnings for women. Cradle Baby Scheme of 1992 protected the girl child against female infanticides. In Tamil Nadu, all women police stations were established throughout the state for the welfare and safety of women. Economic problems. India even today is facing many economic problems such as poverty, unemployment, price rise, population explosion. Poverty. World Bank defines poverty as the inability to attain minimal standard of living like food, shelter and clothing. Indian population can be segregated as the rich and poor. 1/3 of our population lives below the poverty line. Poverty is a socio-economic issue to be addressed immediately because it affects the health of the people. Poverty reduces the efficiency of the people. It results in low production and affects the growth of the nation, resulting in poverty in rural and urban areas. Poverty Alleviation Program has been initiated by the government of Tamil Nadu. 5-year plans. The first 5-year plan was agriculture oriented to overcome food issue. The fourth 5-year plan was to increase the standard of living of the people and reduce price rise. The fifth 5-year plan emphasized on poverty alleviation. The seventh 5-year plan was to remove poverty and to attain self-sufficiency in food production. The 10th 5-year plan was implemented to increase the per capita income of the people in the economy. Steps were taken to alleviate poverty through these 5-year plans. Other schemes of the government. Jawahar Rozgar Yojana employment scheme is implemented to alleviate poverty. During the regime of Mrs. Indira Gandhi in 1975, the 20-point program was implemented to eradicate poverty in rural areas. In this topic, you have learnt women constitute 50% of the population in India, yet women are not treated equally. Many acts were introduced to improve the status of women. 1/3 of our population lives below the poverty line. Poverty is a socio-economic issue to be addressed immediately. Poverty Alleviation Program has been initiated by the government of Tamil Nadu. Steps were taken to alleviate poverty through 5-year plans. During the regime of Mrs. Indira Gandhi in 1975, they introduced the 20-point program was implemented to eradicate different poverty in rural areas. At the end of the topic, you will be able to understand the root cause of social issues like unemployment, price rise, and population explosion. Unemployment is a situation in which a person is ready to work but there is no job opportunity that is a means of survival in the society. Unemployment is one of the serious social threats in India. Causes for unemployment. Very limited job opportunity in agriculture and allied activities. Advanced science and technology has reduced manual labor. Population explosion creates wide-scale unemployment. The measures taken to reduce unemployment are National Rural Employment Program implemented in 1980 generated numerous employment opportunities. The Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program assured that one person of a landless family had employment for 100 days in a year. Training for Rural Youth Employment Program implemented in 1979 generated opportunity for self-employment. Financial assistance to rural areas is done through Jawahar Rozgar Yojana that was introduced in 1989. Price rise. The functional gap between production and supply of essential good is termed as price level. Low production and higher demand will increase the price level of the entire commodity. Causes for the price rise. Rapid growth of population, low productivity in agriculture, monsoon failure leading to poor harvest, food shortage, illegal markets like smuggling, hoarding and black market. Steps taken to control price rise. Public distribution system, fair price shops, cooperative stores were opened to provide essential goods at cheaper rates. Legal action was taken against smuggling, hoarding and black marketing. Population explosion. Unexpected growth of population is known as population explosion. India ranks second in world population besides China. India comprises of 2.4% of world area and 16.84% of world population. According to 2011 census, Indian population scaled at 121,000 to 20,000 persons. Causes for population growth: high birth rate and low death rate. Low death rate is due to the progress in medical science and technology. Epidemic diseases are eradicated. Infant mortality rates have decreased in India. Belief of the underprivileged people in having more children to earn higher income. Desire to have a male child. Effects of population explosion. Economic development of the nation is being hindered. Population explosion leads to various social issues such as poverty, price rise, unemployment. Explosion of population leads to pollution and unhygienic conditions. World Population Day is observed on 11 July. Measures undertaken to control population growth: family planning, improving female literacy rate, legal restriction on child marriage and polygamy, subsidies to families that accept two-child norms, registration of marriages, births and deaths. In this topic, you have learned unemployment is a situation in which a person is ready to work but there is no job opportunity that is a means of survival in the society. The functional gap between production and supply of essential good is termed as price level. Public distribution system, fair price shops, cooperative stores were opened to provide essential goods at cheaper rates. India comprises of 2.4% of the world area and 16.84% of world population. According to 2011 census, Indian population scaled at 121 crores 2,20,000 persons.